This is my two-sided pot scrubby. You use tulle, which is a softer form of knitting, along with some crochet cotton. And when you put them together, you have a scratchy side on one for pots and a smoother side on the other if you don't need to have the scratch. And it should not scratch Teflon. I've been selling these things for years and people have never come back and told me that this is scratching their Teflon finishes. Of course, a lot of pots and pans now don't use Teflon. They use diamond and all kinds of other stuff as their coatings, porcelain even. So what I'm going to do is take you through it step by step. We're going to start with making a ball of the netting. Now you see this is the nylon netting that you find in the store. It's very scratchy, and when you use it, it tears really easy. Now this is not going to tear, see, it tears very easy. So while I'm trying to crochet it into a ring like this, it's very scratchy. It's hard on the hands, and it turns out very scratchy, and it does break as you're working with it. So I found the next grade down, which is Tulle, T-U-L-L-E. It's Bridal Illusion is another name for it because it's very, very thin, but it's very, very scratchy. I'm going to show you how I turn this into this to start with. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of paper. I'm going to pretend this is the tulle. When you get it, it's folded like that, and folded twice. So you have your folded edges and your open edges. What I do is I'll get at least 2 yards because that'll make it 72 inches. And then I fold it over and fold it over. And then when I go to cut it, I turn it this way. That way, when I cut it here, here, and here, it's very, very long and you don't have as many ties. So what I do is I have this little piece of, this is lining material. I just figured I'd use it because it was small. Let me put this underneath because I'll need that. Okay, so pretend this is my Bridal Illusion, and as you see, it's folded over multiple times. Now I've made a mess of it. And you just make sure it stays folded like I showed you. Then you would put it on your cutting board. There it is. And then what I like to do, I didn't bring my, yeah I did, here's my straight pen, is to mark it with straight pens and a ruler. Where'd my ruler go? I'm not prepared today. I forgot to bring my ruler in. Let me go back and get it. Okay, I usually start with my little ruler. And I put a straight pen at the 1.5 inch mark right there. And then from that point, I put one every 2.5 inches. So one here, and of course you keep going the rest of the way down because your thing is going to be a good 36 inches. So after I do that, just to make sure, I put the straight pins all the way through the fabric. And then I like to use my steel wool ruler when I do my cuts. A lot of ladies have the plastic boards that they use with their cutting wheel. I just like to use the long ruler because it stretches over a larger piece of fabric. So I'm gonna get these out of the way. So first you start with, I'll put this all the way over here to the end, like that. You measure it at 2.5 inches. Now this, you'd be using the nylon netting. I'm just doing this because it's a little bit smaller. And as you see by putting the first straight pin at the 1.5 inch mark, the next one will be on the other side of the ruler, so you're not going to put your ruler on top of these things. That's why I like to use the ruler. And then get your cutting wheel ready, right along the edge of the ruler, and push down and cut it. I don't know if it cuts, you can cut all the way through. I need a new blade. Okay, and then while you leave the fabric in place, you move to the 5 inch mark. And as you see, the straight pins are in between. And you cut it again. And you keep going down. Now the next one's at 7.5 inches, which is right here. One more. Okay, now you keep going all the way down until you have your entire piece of nylon netting cut. And then once you do that, oh, this one didn't cut all the way through. I said I need a new rotary blade, but at least it'll get you the idea. Right. Once that is done, now you have to join all these pieces together. So you open it up. And hook it to it, the next piece to it. I'm usually sitting on my couch doing this so I can stretch this out. I just usually do an overhand knot. You can do a square knot, any type of knot, but you want to secure your two pieces, your pieces of tulle together. And then you keep going and add your next piece. And you keep adding your pieces until you see, here's where this knot is. Until there it's all in one big continuous piece, and then you roll it up into a ball. It's great if you roll it into a ball. Then I'll usually take a straight pin because it won't stay this way, and do that. And then once I do that, then I put them all in a bag. So when I'm ready to start with a particular color, I'll pull out all the loose pieces and knot them together and turn them into a ball. And then after that, I put the balls in another bag, so I've got them set aside. And once that's done, then I go ahead and I make the ring part. I got 2 big tubs full of these rings, so I don't have to make them as I go. I usually try to make 3 or 4 at a time of each color as I cut my colors. And then you would add that with some sugar and cream or peaches of cream and form this. Now I'm going to make this also, but first I'm going to make one of these using a size I hook. I'll use this bright orange. I do have a pattern out there, but half of the pattern for this particular scrubby is not on the paper. I'm going to have to do it and resubmit it. You start with, it's kind of like a slip knot, magic loop I think they call it. I forgot what they call it. But you start by making a ring, pull it really tight, but leave it a big loop because you'll be glad you did when you get back around. Now you want to crochet 6 single crochets in the ring. Try to keep them reasonably loose because they're going to get tight on you. There's 3, and I always make sure I keep my tail inside my work. That way it gets woven in as I work. I don't have to weave it in later. Now when you get to a knot, which you will get to, you work it in. This one is there. See, now it's a little bit closer. But you can't go without a knot. That's why you want to make the lengths of fabric as long as possible, so you don't have as many knots on the back. One time I forgot, and I cut just in like 1 yard sections, and I wound up with about 5 knots in the ring that I had to try to weave in. Okay, let me get another one in here. Try to keep the knot on the back of your work. See, that's the way it's on the back side. Kind of hard to see, but it's on the back, like these are. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. Now we're going to do number 6. It's a little bit awkward because I'm not used to working with it, but it works out. Then you pull that tight, and when you pull it tight, it closes your ring, and you don't want to get this caught in it. Now you go back to your first stitch. That's why you want it loose here, because this stitch sometimes will tighten up on you. And same thing, I hold that yarn inside. 2 single crochets in each ring. Oh, I caught something. Oh, it was the other one, the other chain next to it. You only want to get into the chain you want to be in. Okay, try again. 2 single crochets in each chain. 2 singles in each single. 2. I forgot to pull the tail up. Let me get that tail up here. 3, 4. Now if you're a little awkward, don't worry about it. Just keep working at it. You will eventually get it to work. Then go to the next one. 5, 6. Then after I get 6, I cut off all these extra strings because they do get in the way. There we go. So now you can see it better. So that was 6. Let me enlarge this. Maybe it'll help. Get that out of the way. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough of this for a whole ring, but we'll see how far I can get with it. Okay, so that's 10, 11, 12. Now it's very stiff to work with, and sometimes you have to really pull the hook through, but it doesn't break because for some reason this tool is stronger than nylon knitting. Okay, now the next one we want to do 18 around. So you crochet 2 together. Crochet 2 in the first single crochet and 1 in the next. So there's gives you 3. And you put 2 in the next one. 4, 5, and 1 in the next one makes 6. 7, 8, and 1 in the next one makes 9. Then we do 2 in the next one, 10, 11, 12, 2 in the next one, 13, 14, 15, and we only have 3 more to go. 15. Oh, no, that'd be 17. That'd be 18 is right here. I got off by 1, but there's 18. And if you're not sure, you can always count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I got 18. Now the next one we're going to do 24. Now I won't do all 24. I'll pause the camera after I get a few done. Okay, so we start with 2 in the first single crochet, and then 1 in each in the next 2. So that's 2, 3, 4. Now we'll repeat that. 5 and 6 in this one. 1 each in the next 2. 7, 8, 2 in the next one. 9, 10, 1 and 1, 11, 12, I'm halfway there, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I'm just about there. 2 more left because we're doing 24. 21, 22, 23, 24. And now we have left is 1 ring left, and this next ring will be 30. Now it's open. You can see in a way it's good because it'll help keep it clean because it's not so tightly compacted. But once you put it together, it you can see it really is nice and snug. All right, let's go to this one will be 30. So 2 in the next one. 1, 2, and 3 in the next 3. 3, 4, 5. And we do 2 in the next one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 in the next one, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2 in the next one, 16, sometimes they don't cooperate, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, only 10 left, 21, 22, 23, 24, oops, 25, 5 more and it's done, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, and what I do after the 30 is I slip stitch into the next one, do a chain, trim it off, and then pull it tight. That makes it as even of a connection as possible. Then just to make sure I don't have that hanging out, I weave it back in a little bit. This needle is not cooperating too well. Okay, so you can go down as many as you want. I usually go down at least 2. I want to make sure it doesn't slip out while I'm working with it. Let's see if I can get in another one here. This will work. There. Then you trim off the excess tail. So now it's nice and neat on the edge and that part is woven in. I'm going to go get the other tool. There's 2 types of this tool. One works really easy like this one and the other one's a little bit stiffer. As you can see on this one, it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. For some reason, if you get the one that has a shimmer, it's a little bit stiffer and it's a little bit more of a challenge to make these. That's why I always try to get the one that doesn't have the shimmer to it. It's kind of a flat look to it. You can see the difference where this one not as shiny as this one. So try to get the ones that don't have the shine on it and you'll be a lot more comfortable making them. Before I go any farther, I'm going to roll this up into a cylinder on my wool winder because working with this is always a pain. I'd rather have it in a more compact condition. Okay, now I have it done on my wool winder. It makes a nice cylinder. It sits nice and flat and then it's very easy to pull my yarn through. All right, now we're going to start with this one. We made this one, so this part is done, and this other part here is made the exact same way. You make this circle first, which is the same as this circle. You start with 6, 12, 18, 24, and up to 30. And once you get 30 done, you'll have a ring like this. So I'll get it started, but I won't finish the whole thing on the video because you've seen me make the whole thing in the nylon netting. Same thing, I make that little I forgot what they're called. I'm totally blank. Like a magic loop, but I think it's called something else. But I pull the first one tight. Now some wrap it around twice. I don't feel a need to wrap it twice. As long as I go over both threads when I do my chain, my crochets, then you can pull the tail and it will tighten up. So I got to do 6 of these. There's 1, 2, still using the eye hook. So I have my 6 and I pull the tail, and when I pull the tail, you can see how it tightens up into a ring. I have to put my hand on it to pull it really tight to make it a real tight closed circle. You can use this anytime that you have to form a ring. You can either do the ring where you chain 2 or 3 and stitch them together, or you can do this and get a ring. And then I do the same thing. I carry this tail inside my work. The first one's always the tightest. I try not to make it tight, but it always seems to work out that way. So I got a single crochet 2 in this one. After the first one, they get easier. 2 in the next one. So that'll give me 4. 2 in the next one. That'll give me 6. 2 in the next one. At this point, I don't hold the tail anymore. Just let it go back behind my work because I don't have to hold it all the way around. There's 8. Two more, that'll give me my 12. Okay, now the next ring is 18. Now we're not going to slip stitch and chain 1. We're just going to go right into the next one with our 2 single crochets. So it's 1, 2. We're making like a coil. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now I'm going to do round 20 with the 24 the same, and then round 30 the same as this. And I'll come back just as I just about finish the 30th stitch on the next round. Okay, I'm up to number 20 on this round, and I need 24. So I'll do 2 together here. That's 25, 26. Oh no, it's 24. So that was 20, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Oh, well, I can't count worth beans, but you know what I did. Now the next one is the 30, where you go into 2 into 1, 1, 2, and the next 3 are singles. 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to repeat it. 6, 7. Those 2 are together. 8, 9, 10. The next 2 are together. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I got to go to 30. So let me go around and I'll be back in just a moment. I'm up to 25, so now I need 30. So this one is 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And at this point, we don't slip stitch, we don't cut it off, we just leave it alone. Now, if you look at these, sometimes one gets a little bigger than the other, because of the different thickness of the netting or the stiffness of the knitting, so they can vary in size. So what I do is after I get my 30, I set my piece on top of the netting, and if it looks like it's the same size, you're in good shape. If it's not the same size, like if I was doing this one, you see how it's a little bit bigger, you can crochet 2 or 3 or 4 more single crochets across the next 2, 3, or 4 stitches and try to lay it again. It still will be the same 30, it's just you're adding a few up here in order to make it fit better. But the one I'm using is the blue one, and it fits just fine. All right, so what we're going to do is put the blue one upside down. So it's going to be upside down and insert it in a hole. It doesn't matter which hole. After you insert it in a hole, oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You insert it in your cotton one first, then in a hole. I do that every now and then. Then when you bring your yarn over, it gives you a nice finished single crochet, and it locks the two together. Now the next one, you want to go in the next single crochet chain and in the next single crocheting of your netting. And you do it all the way around. Sometimes they line up and you can just go straight across and through, and sometimes you have to finagle it a bit. But as long as both your ring and your scrubby tool have 30 single crochets around, they're going to match up pretty good. But you want to make sure you catch them both. And I make sure I crochet this a little loose, because there's no more increasing at this point until you get to the third round. And then when I do after I get my increases done, I count again, because you want to have 35 when you finish the increase round. Okay, now you got to that join. I put one in this spot here, and then one in the spot just above where I did my slip stitch, which is right there, and then you go to the next one. So here into this one. Somehow I got 3 here. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, let me finish this one. Go back into the one I was just in. Now this and up here. And I go one more over, and then I double check the back to see if it's a nice join. You can see it's a nice join when you do that. If you skip this one, come over here, then you're going to have a gap. So I always try to catch that before I go to the next one. And they continue going around. When I get close to the end, I count to make sure I'm even. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm correct. I don't have to do any adjusting. Sometimes if you have 7 on one and 6 on the other, you kind of have to crochet 2 together. Like if this one I had 1 extra one, I come up here, then I go into here and go back into the same one, and then crochet them together, and that will give me 1 stitch where I accidentally had a second stitch that was unusable because I had 31 on one and 30 on the other. So that's how you would fix that. Because once in a while I get to watching TV and 1, 2, okay, it shows I have 3 here and only 2 here, so I got to do that after all. So go take this one out, go in this one like that, and then go back in it and go to the next one, and then single crochet them together. That way you have 1 stitch on the front, and the 2 around the back, but yet it only works into 1 stitch. So then I have my 31 here. Oh, that's 29, and there's 30. So now I have all 30 in the front, and I have all 30 there. Then I slip stitch it and chain 1, turn my work. Now you can count at this point and make sure you have 30, because you want to have 30 going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, it comes up a little short. So what I'll probably do, oh, there's why I came up 1 short. I missed one right there. That's why I had a boo-boo. Well, I don't like the missed one, so I'm going to go back and fix it, because see, I missed that one right there, and that's how come I had 1 too many on the bottom when my original count I had the correct amount. It's easier to just go back and fix it at this point than to try to fudge it in the next round. But these should line up nicely. Okay, there's that one below, and then the one up here. That's a little tight. And then go back to regular. See, now it worked out exactly. And then you slip stitch and you do a chain one. Okay, so now look at what I did. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even connect them. Oh, maybe it's because I'm not all the way around. Got to pay attention to what you're doing. This one with this one. There, now we'll get it finished. Never hurts to turn your work over and look just to make sure you're still on target. Okay, and then we slip one, slip it together and to close up the ring, and then chain one. And now we can see they're all correct all the way around. Now the next round is just single crochet in every stitch. Okay, I'm just about around on the second round. Like I said, it's just crocheted even. Then you slip stitch it together. Now this time you don't turn your work. You chain one, you don't turn it. But you can see how the back is one solid piece where the front has the netting in between. Now this round is where we do our increases. So we crochet 4 stitches. And then crochet 2 stitches in the next. So that gives us 6 stitches here. Now, and we repeat this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 together. That's 5 and 6. And then 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2 in this one, so that gives us 3 repeats. We do one more repeat, which is 4. And put 2 together. Okay, there's 4. Oh, that's where I got to do 5 repeats. So that's 4 repeats. And we do it one more time. We do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we do our repeats again. And then just single crochet in the last 4 stitches right here. 3, 4, and I always stop and not do this last one until I count, because I want to make sure I have 35. So I don't count the one, I count this one, I don't count this one because this I may need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I got my 35. So I'll slip stitch over. And then chain 1. So now we're going to start the scallops. So you skip 1 and do 5 double crochets in the next one. So it's 1, 2. Before I do any more, I stop at this point and I do one more count. Because then skip 1 single, skip 1 5, so it's a shell. Skip 1 single, skip 1 shell, 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 skip 1 single, skip 1 shell. That winds up perfect because then when you skip one, you do a single right there. So this one lined up great. Sometimes you're off by a stitch and you have to either, instead of starting in the second one, do your shell over here. So it just depends how your work comes out when you join the 2 together. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5. Now we'll skip 1 and do a single. Now we'll skip one and do a shell. But I'm always counting to make sure I still have my 30 stitches or 35 stitches, or I can get my shells in place. 3, 4, 5. Skip one single. Skip one shell, which are 5 double crochets in the same space. This is the part I left off in my pattern, this final row here. Everything else is on the pattern except for this. So there's 4, one more, I'll make 5. Skip one single. Skip one shell. Now you know what I meant when I said skip one single, skip one shell. Skip one single crochet, skip one shell, and you just keep repeating this all the way around until you get back here. Okay, I'm just about done. So let's skip one single. Now you see if I skip one, I have a shell, and I can skip one, and there's my next single crochet. So this one worked out great. Sometimes that works out a little wrong. You might have to do your 4 doubles right next to your single crochet, or you might have to do your 4 doubles at this location and then do your single there. But usually if you get to 35 stitches, it will work out even. Just about done. That's 3, 4, 5. Now a single crochet in the last stitch here. And always make sure I pull it tight. And then chain 1, cut your tail. And you have this nice finish. Then of course you got to weave your tail in on the back. Let's see if I can get this to weave in correctly. I always have to split it a little bit so it lays flatter. Then I usually go back and go in. And then the same thing, I go back a little bit and I'll go a few more stitches. Then I'll go back a little bit and do a couple more. Trim my tail off. And there you have it. You have your nylon tulle in the middle, which is a little scratchier, and you got your smooth cotton on your back. Kind of like the same when you do the square scrubbies. Now this is just a square scrubby, but it's the same on both sides. You don't have that little bit scratchy in the middle. And I make these the same as I make my pot holders. The only difference between my scrubby and my pot holder is the amount of stitches that I do. I do 34 for this one and 23 for this one. Well, I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and if you click notification, you'll be one of the first ones to know that I've got another video out there. Have a wonderful day.